The EV industry has been booming. Tesla and NIO have grown exceptionally well within the past few years. If any endeavor has the potential to mature into an investment that generates excellent returns, it's only fitting for the whales to hop on and invest in it. Aren't you curious how much these whales might have invested in Tesla and NIO? Hello folks, welcome to yet another exciting video. In today's video, we'll be analyzing how much Tesla and NIO stocks whales have bought. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. Without further ado, let's begin. Tesla and NIO are two companies performing well for these past few months, despite many regulatory concerns that popped up. Tesla, known as the phenomenal player of the sector, never failed in preserving the title. Whales have been investing continuously in Tesla stocks, and the FOMO that developed and encompassed the EV manufacturers has been solid. Recently, a self-proclaimed Elon Musk fanboy invested a hefty sum in Tesla. Koguan Leo, the so-called Elon Musk fanboy, as the name suggests, had a great interest in Tesla and eventually built a solid position in the company by accumulating stocks. Leo, however, keeps a relatively low profile and manages to stay under the radar. The Chinese-American billionaire has lately become active on Twitter and began tweeting under Tesla and Elon Musk. The self-proclaimed fanboy claims he's the third largest individual Tesla shareholder. Koguan Leo reportedly holds over 6.2 million shares of Tesla under several accounts. The news was then confirmed by Martin Viecha, Tesla's head of investor relations. After Elon Musk and Larry Ellison, we can infer Koguan Leo has made it into the whale tier. It would have been hard to catch up with the other two. However, Leo is still buying Tesla shares and stated that he would rise and fall with Tesla. Last year, ARK Invest, as a means of rebalancing their portfolio, sold Tesla stocks for a price target of $3,000 per share. Leo then stated that he would be buying more shares than ARK could sell. All of this indicates that Koguan Leo can be titled as Tesla's prominent bull on the planet. At this point, it looks like his Tesla investment portrays a significant portion of his net worth. Right here, we can see how many institutional investors have purchased Tesla shares and how many of those are significant. We can see that many institutional investors have remained loyal to Tesla stocks, and most of them are long-term investors. Experts' take on Tesla stocks. At Wedbush, they've decided to maintain the outperform rating. The price target given by them is $1,100. The performance rating given by RBC Capital also remains the same, and the price target sits at $800. The buy rating at Tesla given by Goldman Sachs remains the same and currently sits at a price target of $1,125. In accordance, Canaccord Genuity suggested their buy rating is not volatile, and $940 was given a price target. Barclays, however, hasn't raised the underweight rating given by them, and its current price target of Tesla is $300. On the other hand, they've given a pretty good valuation for NIO stocks. Regarding Tesla, we can say that Tesla's expectation is much higher than that of NIO, so these analysis would instead rely on a big move rather than a slight hike. Recently, unusual whale flow activity was seen with Tesla. A couple of days back, a unique or noteworthy options trading volume was seen. The trade began at $952.43. The following orders on the $1,025 strike call option appear individually in order sizes of 50 contracts at a time dated April 14, 2022. Traded at the points of $92 and $94, bid-ask ranges of $91.45 to $92 and $93.75 and $94 respectively. By the end of January 2022, the same chain exhibited a hike in volume and was subsequently traded at $97.85 or the range hovering it. If you observe, a volume increment is still seen on this chain. Elon Musk also sold more Tesla stock, and more sales are expected to happen this year with more investors expressing interest in the stock. Many institutional and individual whales have invested a hefty sum in Tesla stocks. The Chinese EV manufacturer NIO also has been performing well in the sector. Over the past few months, the EV manufacturer's stocks have skyrocketed. On that note, the National Bank of Canada has now invested a hefty sum in NIO stocks. They bought 633,000 shares of NIO. Do you know how much they spent on purchasing those shares? A whopping $23 million was spent on purchasing NIO shares. The National Bank of Canada also bought 67,000 Tesla shares. Now that kind of investment indicates that stock is highly bullish. The institutional ownership of NIO is 38% and that of Tesla is 40%. It suggests that the current trend on both these stocks is highly bullish. Another point to remember is that many individuals or institutional investors might have invested in Tesla through different accounts or trusts, so if we were to analyze how much they've invested in these stocks, we should conclude the entire investment. All told, some significant institutional investors have set their eyes on NIO stocks. At the same time, some serious investments have been happening with NIO. Two big institutions gave an extremely bullish play. One infamous financial endeavors, Morgan Chase, bought NIO stocks for $29 per share. They bought 7.6 million shares. Morgan Chase has also invested in NIO earlier. However, recently they've shown great interest in the Chinese EV makers and invested another hefty sum into it. The share change indicated is 378.46. The shares are now worth $242 million. This single investment suggests that NIO stocks are incredibly bullish. Another institutional investor is Blackrock. The average share price they signed up for is $11. They racked up 64 million shares in total, suggesting an increase in shares by 4%. The gross margin of NIO is 19%. Meanwhile, Tesla has a gross margin of 25%. So we might as well state that both these EV makers are skyrocketing in valuation side by side. The fundamentals of both these stocks have been improving pretty well. On the other hand, updates regarding their solid-state battery is another factor that can initiate a rally soon. Will NIO ever 2 times the current state? Regarding its hike, we can say that they have this great potential to surpass its rivals shortly and establish a solid stance. NIO stocks have earned a strong rating from Barclays. On a positive note, according to its latest delivery data, the Chinese EV remains in the growth phase. NIO also has been maintaining its 1-week winning streak. Investors are pleased by the analysis given by Barclays expressing a bullish take on the NIO stock and have received an overweight rating and price target of $34. Although the stock plunged, Chinese regulatory concerns led investors to flee from investing in Chinese tech stocks. It has indeed been a turbulent period. Why wouldn't these investors bail out when a host of regulatory crackdowns occurred around the time? However, NIO and Tesla in particular remained on track from a growth perspective as both these endeavors have posted strong delivery data. It has aided these stocks to brush off these regulatory concerns and express its strong stance in the sector. The yearly growth rates are still impressive as ever. Barclays stated that they believe that the rapid adoption of electric vehicles across the globe and booming sales in the sector have allotted Chinese EV makers a rather unusual opportunity to take a sizable market share of the domestic auto market. Subsequently, it also helps it maintain a solid stance on the world stage. Why wouldn't this analysis boost the brand's existing image and its inception when it's highlighting the potential growth that can be possibly seen shortly? On the other hand, Tesla has been falling slightly since last week. The stocks would jump onto the escalator shortly with more updates under their sleeves. Expanding their sales and global playground, the EV makers will perform well. This will undoubtedly attract more whales to invest hefty sums into these tech stocks. With that, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video informational and wish to see more content, please hit the like button. Do let us know your opinions on our comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure to turn on the post notifications so that you always get notified whenever we post a new video. Till then, keep watching our other videos. We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.